and what you do will all be in harmony. There'll be no discordant, ways of engaging the mind, engaging your words, and engaging your body. There'll be no discord. So therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, one more thing is told. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Nobody can remain inactive even for one moment. Everybody is forced to be always active. Now somebody will say, if there is a tamasic person, lazy person, the lazy person may sit around whole day and do nothing. So how do you say such a lazy person is always active? So what Bhagavad Gita explains is, the lazy person is active in his mind. He can only avoid physical activity. May even avoid speaking, but cannot avoid the mind. Mind is always active. Everybody's mind is always active. Even when we go to sleep, our mind is active. You have experience of dreams that suggest the mind is active. So mind is always active, 24/7. It's never inactive. So through the mind, we do so many things which we don't realize. Mind is the seat of desire. We desire through our mind. And desire is the basis of all material action. Desire is also the basis of spiritual activity. Actually, in the 5th chapter, how much time? 25 minutes more. Okay, I'm out of time.
Post it in KB.
In the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, is everybody able to hear me? In the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains three doers of any material activity. Many times we think, I am the only doer. But Krishna says, no. You are never the only doer. The first doer is you. The one who initiates any activity or any action. Let's say, I want to lift my hand. So it begins by my desiring or willing to lift my hand. That's the starting point. So 5th chapter says that I, as a doer of lifting my hand, I am the doer only in terms of desiring or willing to lift my hand. That's it. Beyond that, I cannot do anything. After I desire to lift my hand, Paramatma in my heart, Super Soul, Krishna in my heart, Super Soul, he has to sanction that. He may sanction, he may not sanction. If he does not sanction, what did he say? Paralytic stroke. Is it not? Somebody has paralytic stroke. No, they can't lift their hand. They can't move their body. So, what is understood as paralytic stroke, from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita, what is the explanation? Paramatma did not sanction. Let's say, normal case, I desire to lift my hand, Paramatma sanctions, then Paramatma's servitor, Mother Nature, material nature, Durga Devi, she employs the 3 gunas to bring about the action, the lifting of the hand. Now science, they are analyzing when lifting of the hand is involved, there's a signal in the brain, and that brain signal travels through the nervous system to the nerves in this joint, and it's activated, and then there's some muscle twitching, and then some ball rolling, all kinds of analysis they do, correct? The whole physical body, they analyze how it is happening. So what they are analyzing is the action of the three gunas on this body. The three gunas act on this body and the hand moves. This is true for every activity in the body. So actually, we are completely dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord as Paramatma for our thinking, for our feeling, for our willing, for our doing, everything. That's what we learn from the Bhagavad Gita. It's a mercy of the Supreme Lord. So without recognizing these three doers, third chapter it is said, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. All material activities are carried out by the three modes of material nature, which a person due to ahankara, false ego, thinks I am the doer. So material activities, we are not the only doers. Now this point is also discussed in the 13th chapter. I'm sorry, I'm making a Bhagavad Gita discourse here. I'll just conclude with this one point. 13th chapter, it says, why should you be held responsible if ultimately you are not the doer? You should hold Durga Devi responsible, no? Why should you be responsible? When you are not actually doing. So you are held responsible because the action was initiated because of your desire, because of you wanting to do it. It's like, I want to lift my hand, then only question arises whether Paramatma will sanction, whether three modes of material nature will carry out based on Paramatma's sanction. If I don't desire, the hand won't automatically be lifted. It won't happen. Correct? So therefore, because I desire, therefore I am held responsible. So you can imagine how responsible you have to be in terms of desiring. Sometimes people say, I get some bad thoughts. I don't want to think anything bad. I get so many bad thoughts. Especially after somebody starts chanting, they think that now no more bad thoughts. And that's desirable, that's very good desire. Very nice. No more bad thoughts. But then you simply want to stop thinking bad, but you're unable to immediately stop that. Why? It's because in your heart you have already stored up so many desires which simply surface with time. We already made plans and we stored up desires for the next millions of lives inside. It's already there. It's already there in the seed form. Every moment we are thinking, we are desiring, we are active. That is the meaning of spirit soul. Every second, every fraction of a second even. We can never be inactive. We can never stop thinking. We can never stop desiring. Not possible. So therefore, Prabhupada many times he says, we had only change our desiring. And that change is possible by such association. Only by good association. Sat Sangha. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. All desires are due to a particular type of association. So you have to carefully choose your association. If you want to desire nicely, you want to desire good, you should have good association. Sadbhavana, good feelings, good desires, good thoughts is only possible in good association. What is this good? Good means spiritual. Material is bad, spiritual is good. There's a recalibration you have to do in your mind, in your understanding. Earlier we had concept of material good and material bad before coming to Krishna consciousness. Now after coming to Krishna consciousness, you understand everything material is bad. Because why? Everything material binds us to this world. Everything material results in material body, in material miseries, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. We don't want. So if you don't want janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, you don't want miseries, you don't want suffering, then no more material thoughts, no more material desires, only spiritual desires, only spiritual thoughts, only spiritual activities. So does it mean we stop doing all our usual normal activities? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means how to spiritualize your regular activities which are essential for your maintenance. Those activities you have to spiritualize, just like spiritualizing eating. You carefully select what you eat and then you offer it to Krishna and then you partake the remnants of prasadam. So that's the way to spiritualize eating. So spiritualize your working. So spiritualizing working means don't do sinful activities. And whatever work you do honestly, you do it as an offering to Krishna. How do you offer to Krishna? While working, you're careful to not violate the laws of nature, and the results you offer to Krishna, at least a portion of the result. So from Bhagavad Gita we understand that the results don't belong to us. The results belong to Krishna. How do you understand this? Simple example. The road there. Finish this. Just like somebody goes to work in a factory, whole day the person will work very nicely. Let's say at the end of the day, the person produces one spark plug, an automobile factory. Can he say, I have worked very nicely, very hard. I'll take that spark plug and go, I have done this work to produce spark plug. From morning to evening, I have been working very nicely. No, he cannot take it. However nicely he works, he can't touch anything in the factory. Everything in the factory that is produced belongs to the owner of the factory. The person who is working, whatever be his designation, whatever be his position, can only take the salary, the labor charges, that's all. And that is given by whom? By the owner of the factory. That also he cannot take. In lieu of what I have done, let me take 10 spark plugs. No, that's also not allowed. There's some waste lying, Some waste is generated by manufacturing the spark plug. I'll take the waste. No, you cannot take the waste also. This is very easy to understand, no? It's not difficult, right? So what is the difficulty in understanding? You come to this world which belongs to Krishna, and then if you are engaged in some work, first of all, to do some work, if I go to a factory, I cannot say I'll do whatever I like to do. You cannot say that. Similarly, this world is organized by Krishna. It belongs to Krishna. So you have to ask Krishna, what should I do? Just like you ask the owner of the factory or the authorities in the factory, what work I should do. You call it, hiring, searching for a job, finding a good placement. All these are polished way of telling that I had to be hired, I had to work, I had to find out what work I should do. And then the person will go and do a definite work as told by some authorities in the factory. Correct? So should we find out what we should do? We are supposed to find out from the proper authority. Can't go and ask this somebody around. What should I do? No? Or I like to do whatever I like to do. I'm good at doing something, so let me do it. Everybody says that, no? I'm good at doing something, let me do that. But is that the basis? Is that the basis of working? No, it's never the basis. So what's the difficulty in understanding? That you have to find out from the right source, authority, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to work. Right? In a factory there are rules, regulations. There's discipline. There are timings. You cannot go to the factory anytime you like and say, I do whatever I'm supposed to do, but please allow me to come whenever I like to come. You cannot do that. So, if there is regulation in this Shastra, rise early in the morning, why do people rebel? Why do they rebel? Now makes sense? What I say makes sense to all of you? You see? You begin to see differently when you understand from the Shastra that this world belongs to God and we have come to this world where to find out what am I supposed to do. And then what am I entitled to get for what I do. It's like you go and work in a factory. Somebody goes and works in a factory. Cannot expect whatever he or she likes to take. No. It depends on what work you're going to do. What is the requirement? What is the value? So many considerations are there. So similarly, God also, He has put in place laws of karma. Exactly from the laws of karma, every person gets what is due to them. Every person gets what's due to them. So as devotees, we should be aware of this and we should become God conscious and we should work according to the laws of God. Now within the laws of God, there is a place for different people in the society, leaders of different kind. Just like natural leaders of the people in society, the teachers, the parents. The first leader for any person who takes birth is his or her parents. Then there are teachers. Then there are those who provide us with different services, organized services. The government organizes law and order. So government authorities are our leaders. So we have to show respect, we have to obey, we have to recognize, we have to express our gratitude. But at the topmost level is God, Krishna. He is the topmost leader. He is the leader of all leaders. We say Ishvaraha Paramaha, he is the supreme leader. But everyone is working under him, whether they recognize or don't recognize, they're working under him. His organization through the Devatas, and under the Devatas, within this world, there is a system of organization. So we cannot neglect or ignore our immediate surroundings and the atmosphere in which we are living. We cannot, as spiritualists, it's not that we are indifferent to so many other rules, regulations that we know by common sense have to be followed. Like the rules of traffic when we are driving, we have to follow. Even if we are spiritualists, we have to follow that. Otherwise there will be chaos. Similarly, we have to also follow the laws of karma. There will be chaos in our life. So with this basic introduction. Now you recognize the importance of understanding that action is possible through body, words, and mind. And mind is the most important. Mind is the most important. And to spiritualize all our activities, and to spiritualize or to engage in certain regulated devotional service. And now we're going to have this modules or whatever, to actually understand what are the different ways in which we should be engaging our mind, body, and words in devotional service. 64 different ways, and how you're actually going to practically understand the way to do it.
Yes. So we are doing. When we read the Bhagavatam, that in Kali Yuga, when you think you're not reliable, I was thinking for everything. When we're coming in the car, part of this feeling, because only if you, let's say, you say you would murder somebody and you think about murdering, you won't get the punishment for murdering, but you will get the punishment for thinking bad about the person. That was eye-opening for me, actually. It's many times we say, right? You know, we have thoughts in our mind and we're thinking that, oh, this person is not so good, I don't want to associate so much with them. I said, I didn't say anything, you know, but they suddenly start fighting with me. Because what is in your mind gets conveyed invariably. So I know we're all public with questions. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just see if we can take 3 questions if somebody has, so that we can, so the train of thought and the wonderful interaction on its way. Anybody has any quick questions? Yes. So 1, 2, and then 3. So those 3 questions. Yes. Go first.
Yeah, so I've heard from some other Swamis who say that if you get a bad thought, with the wrong intention, the way you absolve of any resulting karma is to write it down and burn it. So that way you're not keeping the result of the karma from future. So you don't have to necessarily wait to experience the result of that negative thinking. So I want to hear your thoughts on it.
The moment the thought comes in your mind, already the thought has come. It's over. Finished. What has to be done, what can be done is, the thought doesn't lead to words, words don't lead to action, physical action. That is where you have to do something about the bad thought. Okay? So the best way to avoid thought itself is to spiritualize your thought. And the way to avoid bad thoughts getting converted to bad words and bad words getting converted to bad actions is to not act materially but act more and more spiritually. Spiritualize your whole existence. We say Sattva Samshuddhi, purification of existence. Purification means spiritualizing. So you have to systematically reduce your material activities, your material association, material desires, everything you have to keep on reducing. Now reducing doesn't mean make it zero, but reducing means spiritualizing. Increase spiritual activity, increase spiritual words, spiritual speaking or hearing, increase spiritual desires. For that, spiritual association is absolutely essential. This burning, writing these are all 20th century or 21st century smart marketing people who are speculating what to do about it and thinking that, oh, by doing that, your bad thoughts have gone. No, nothing like that happens. They don't know how this world is working. They don't know there are demigods in control. So it's all in ignorance, people speculate, and they're smart in presenting their speculations as if it is some wise man's advice. It's actually not correct at all. Next question.
Maharaj, when we are in satsang, it is easy to have positive thoughts. But when we are in a samsaric life, you are at work and somebody has done something to harm you, then the negative thought does come in. Especially if you know you were right and somebody has actually done something to harm you. Then what do we do?
So there is something called Vaishnava etiquette for devotees' behavior. There are guidelines. How to behave with others. Others means immediate family members, then other people with whom you interact, who are your friends, your well-wishers, devotee association, and the colleagues you work with, your subordinates at work, your superiors at work. So we have to learn that. There's a lot of learning. So, Vaishnava etiquette is a very big subject, but sometime if we get a chance, we can discuss something about it. You have to learn that, how to treat it.
Okay. So how do I go about with learning that, getting to know more about that?
So they will have the session.
Maybe Maharaj, just for just a particular example, it's almost like a peer this thing. Maybe you can just spend like 30 seconds on it or
Okay. So there is a standard way of reacting to somebody harming them. If it's a devotee who's harming me, then depending on who that devotee is subordinate to me, junior to me, or my equal or my superior, I have to take different actions. If it's a junior, I have to preach, and first of all, when it involves devotees, I have to forgive. For any harm another devotee does to me, I have to forgive. This is Vaishnava etiquette. But not just forgiving, but to help that other person not commit the mistake again, to correct the other person, something has to be done. So if you are in a superior position, you preach. If you are equal, then you have an open-hearted discussion. And if the person is superior, you have to approach your authorities and get that authority to talk to that person. This is as regards devotees. As regards outside world, you have to be practical. You see. First of all, we have to shed our false ego that if something happens to my body or mind or my emotion, somebody insults my intelligence, calls me stupid, then I'm very, very good at doing something, and I'm actually very wise, but somebody calls me stupid. I feel hurt. How can this person call me stupid? Right? So, at a certain level, a wise person ignores all such insults done by a person who doesn't know what is your actual position or what is your standard. You ignore. But if it is something that hurts you, your emotions, so somebody scolds you unnecessarily, then you don't get angry in retaliation, understanding that nothing has happened to me by the person becoming angry against me, and in terms of scolding me, nothing has happened to me. Right? So you may talk to the other person depending on what your relationship is. You have to deal with it intelligently. If you have a relationship, then you can work it out. If you don't have a relationship, then try to go through somebody who has a relationship to influence the person to not unnecessarily scold somebody else like that. So you have to be dealing in a very practical way without letting other people's mistakes affect your consciousness, particularly because you want to protect your consciousness to be able to engage in devotional service. Supposing I become affected in my consciousness when somebody insults me, then I can't do my chanting, I can't do my devotional service. My intelligence won't work. So never let your intelligence, your mind, or your emotions, or your feelings become affected by other materialistic persons' behavior or interactions. This is what is the proper behavior. Now it may take some time. So that's why as you progress in your chanting, as you progress in devotional service, your immunity you build up. You become immune to outside people's behavior.
Thank you. We take a lot of time. And I will have opportunity to ask a lot of questions later. So, what we do now is we do a quick 5-minute role play. And why don't you go ahead, the team is ready? Okay. So let's see the role play and then quickly we'll have closings. Okay, sit here. Do you need microphones? How many?
Why?
I wanted that particular. I couldn't write freely.
It is there in live.
So we have Shuddha Prabhu, Vijayan Prabhu, Pandu Prabhu and Adikusha Prabhu. Please come here.
View. Antek.
Sukada, why don't you give a background of where it is?
So I'll set the scene real quick. So we have situation in the temple. Shuddha Prabhu is the head cook. He's in charge of cooking. And he also has some pujari service today. And we have 3 volunteers in the
Feedback.
temple. And what the head cook does is he would come and he would request them to help him in the kitchen service. And then we see how it goes. Hare Krishna.
Turn a little bit that side also because
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming and helping me, trying to help me in the kitchen service. So we have one service. Unfortunately, I also have a pujari service today. What you need to do is that I have to take care of the deities offering. So meanwhile, before I come, please make sure that you cut your vegetables and then keep stirring the dal so that it doesn't burn. And once you cut the vegetables, please put all the vegetables in the dal, okay? I'll go to the deity room, offer and come back, okay? Hare Krishna, sure.
Okay. How things going? How's it going? How is life?
Going good, Prabhu. But as you know, the market is not really that great. All the company stock I had has lost a lot of its value.
I know, Prabhu. That's what is happening, right? We are losing so much of money. I wanted to get something. I wanted to also put money in the stocks and not happening.
Stock market is gone, Prabhu. It is there, Prabhu. It's all red, Prabhu. Is that sometime back I saw that it was green. I invested, but
Now see, the shutdown is making it more difficult, Prabhu. What is this
my
happening?
401k also gone red, Prabhu.
You know what is happening, right? Because of all this, the president is doing all these things. Seriously.
By the way, have you guys seen the cricket match yesterday?
Oh, yeah, Prabhu.
It was really down to the wire.
Oh, really? I didn't see that, Prabhu. Maybe I'll go and watch the highlights later. Prabhu, did you see it?
Oh, Prabhu, that square cut that Virat Kohli was playing is awesome.
He is becoming a king of cricket, Prabhu. Wow, amazing. Yeah, I didn't watch it, Prabhu. I should definitely watch it.
I was awake quite late in the night to watch that one.
I think it was awesome, Prabhu. I really liked it. So much of square cuts, 4 runs, very sixers in
Yeah,
the
nice.
and it was awesome, Prabhu.
Prabhu, did you watch the latest movie, 2.0?
No, I didn't. I just book it sometime.
How about you, Prabhu?
I didn't get tickets, I don't have
Prabhu, there is a
internet.
message, very nice message in that movie, Prabhu.
What's going on here? Hare Krishna. Looks like you guys are enjoying in the kitchen, huh? Too much. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I can see that. The dal is already burning. Huh? What's going on here? Did you put the vegetables? The dal is already burned.
Let you wait, man.
Come on, this is not the way to do the services. Devotional service means you have to put your mind, body, everything into it. That's when you'll get the results of it. Okay, this is not the way to do the devotional service. When you're doing the service, please focus on your service and don't talk anything, the material things. Only talk about Krishna. Okay? Thank you.
Sure, Prabhu. We'll try to follow that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I agree that we should focus on the service given rather than get carried away by mundane topics.
Thank you for educating us, Prabhu.
Thank you.
The most unconvincing part of this thing was Sudhadara is the head cook. We all know how wonderful he cooks.
We will expect an assistant.
Just something to add to what they said. During service, you should focus on your service. You should not talk mundane things, but talk about Krishna. So once what happened, we were in the kitchen doing something, and then one devotee got really fired up. While cutting sabji, it's nice to hear some Krishna Katha. And sure enough, they started hearing Krishna Katha and got completely absorbed in hearing the Krishna Katha. The dal got burnt. Sabji was not cut. So, it's not just that, instead of discussing mundane things, you discuss about Krishna. No. You should focus on the service. So actually, while cutting sabji, you have to be focusing on cutting sabji. By the way, if you are hearing a lecture of Prabhupada, or better still, a kirtan, then you will not completely get distracted away from your main service and get lost in that, kirtan or whatever, and the story or whatever. So, it is important that the primary activity we always have to be focused, have to be attentive, and apply our mind, body, and words in the primary activity. Just like in factories, they do this time motion study. They say how people can actually do their work very efficiently. So for Krishna also, we should be able to do the work efficiently. If sabji cutting is given, then sabji has to be cut perfectly. The first time I went into a kitchen in Boston to do some service, the devotee who was the cook, he told me, take this tomato. What shape is it? He asked me. I said, why is he asking me the shape? I said, it's round. He said, it's a perfect round. So I want it cut into 4 parts. 4, what do you call it? Quarters, 4 quarters. So you hold the tomato with your left hand, place it on the cutting board, take a sharp knife, be careful not to cut your finger. He gave me such precise instructions, I was really impressed. And then I was very carefully doing it so that I don't cut my finger because the knife was very sharp. And then he said you should do it efficiently, should not take too much time. Even though you're doing it the first time, initially you're a little slow, but gradually you should do it a little faster. And then as you become more expert in cutting tomatoes, then I will tell you to cut lemons and you cut other vegetables. And slowly you can graduate to actually doing some rolling chapatis. So like that, I was given already a goal of, progressing in my service. So it became very, very interesting. So we would not discuss any Krishna Katha and all that. I was really involved in actually doing the service very nicely. I was learning. And I learned cooking. I began to appreciate recipes. I began to appreciate the devotees' cooking. There is to be one cook. I'm very bad in timing. 3 minutes, huh? I'm going to stop. Okay, there was one cook, Yamaraj Das. He's a disciple of Prabhupada. You would have seen his pictures on BTG covers, courtesy Yamaraj Das. He would come to the kitchen at around, for Sunday evening feast. He would come to the kitchen at 2 o'clock after finishing his rounds and reading and taking a bath, wearing iron clothes, iron kurta, iron dhoti, and then he would wear an apron. Apron would be as clean as his dhoti, very, very clean. And then he will do 3 items. He will make chapatis for a Sunday feast. Generally, chapatis don't make. They make puris for a Sunday feast. He'll make 300 chapatis for 150 people in Philadelphia Temple. 300 chapatis he'll make single-handed in 1 hour. If he is given an assistant, he will do that in half an hour and he'll make an extra sweet himself. This half an hour he saves doing, he will do half an hour. His time is 1 hour in the kitchen because he's got so many services to do, other services outside the kitchen. So he will do an extra sweet because standard sweets are halwa and Bengali kheer, suji halwa, farina halwa and Bengali kheer. But he will do an additional laddu or he'll do an additional barfi, something he'll do. And then if he has somebody who can take care of the chapatis, making it nicely, people don't waste, then he will do 1 sweet and an extra savory item. So he'll do, ultimately, from his side there will be 3 items, not 2 items in one. So like that, in doing our service, generally DT service also, devotees think, if I learn how to, show the different articles while doing arati, then after some time, what is there? It's so easy, mechanically the hand will go first to the agarbatti, next to the lamp, third to the agya water. I know automatically my hand will go and I keep doing. First to Prabhupada, then to Nityananda, then to Gauranga, then to Balaram, then to Krishna, then to Nrsimha. It automatically happens. So what about the mind? What about the thoughts? What about the attention? Prabhupada says in 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, attention given to every detail in devotional service, particularly in deity worship, is very important. In the beginning, we are so much attentive. I'm properly, waving or turning around, and I should do it gently. I should not do it very, very passionately, and I should not, do it so fast that the wig will fall off or fly off. One devotee was doing this charmer. I don't know what mood he got into. The charmer went flying out of his hand. I'm not exaggerating, I'm telling you a fact. Of course, it's an extreme example, but we have to do it gently. But in addition to that, we should also remember that once we get into the routine of doing it, we should also check our consciousness. What is our consciousness? So before we offer, we should remember that the personalities there are real persons. They are live persons. Prabhupada is sitting there and accepting our arati, our service. Prabhupada is watching. So if a person were in front of you, you would not just mechanically do things, right? So you have to say, I am now going to offer you, kindly accept this offering of incense. Then you are conscious that the incense actually has got a fragrant smell. So then you will choose, supposing there are 5 varieties of fragrances of incense kept. But preparing the aarti plate, you just don't pull out some 5 sticks and just put it and just go. It's time, right? Well, now I have to do the aarti. So just pick some 5 sticks. Prabhu, please, can you make the aarti plate ready? You tell some other devotee. How do I make the aarti plate? Oh, just pick some few sticks and just put it in. No. Which sticks? Which are the fragrance that was offered yesterday? What are the fragrance for a particular time of the day? See, there's so much to learn. So much to learn. So like that, if you consider the service very seriously, there is more to the service than what appears to be, necessary for doing a particular service. I can speak on this a lot as public.
When you are in the association of Maharaj, time just goes. Like the charmer. Like the charmer. I'm fine, sir. Thank you so much, Maharaj. So what we'll do now is we'll have a breakout session for an hour. And Maharaj will come to the different rooms to join us for the different breakouts. And we'll spend time on learning about the 64 Rangas of Bhakti. Okay? Now, the first group is the fixed list of names. What is, do you have the list of the names ready? Okay. So, when we announce these names, you're group 1, so you can literally get up and go to that side of the room. Okay? Then the rest of the people will quickly divide into 3 groups after that. Should we quickly divide them? And this is the groups for the rest of the day. Okay, Mridul, Rahul. Rahul is not here yet. Okay, Vishal. Please join this. Vishal and Shri Gauri. Vignesh. Which Vignesh? I don't know which Vignesh. I can't read. This Vignesh. Okay. Krishna. Karthik. Shrikant, Aishwarya, Gautam.
So we can add Adarsh.
Adarsh, Jules? Maitri, yes. They joined. And Divya. Who else? What about those? Yes, Sanjana. Where is Sanjana? Kirtana, Sanjana. Sham, where is Sham? Saki. Sham. Want to see anybody else? This is the fun group to be, sir. Okay. Wonderful. So that's group one. So let's quickly go. This is the group for the rest of the day. Please remember your group. Okay? Now we'll start here and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, just do 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can do 2, 3, 4 without saying one.
Two. Three, right? We are facilitators. We are facilitators.
Facilitators. Yeah.
4.
Okay. 2, 3, 4 only. 3 groups.
2. 3.
4. Please remember your number, right? Okay. 2. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2. You're 3. Okay. Yeah, he's part of different group. You are 4. Okay. What is it? 2, 2. You said 4, no? Oh, sorry. Okay. 4. You take it first. So 2, 4, right? Okay. So somebody start with 2 now. 2. 3. 3. 4. 2. 3. 4. Please remember your numbers. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. You're not doing it? Okay. 4, not doing it. 2. No, you're doing some group? No, you're 2. 2. Okay. What is it? 3. You're done? Okay. 3. You're 3 and you're 4. Wonderful. All of you remember your numbers? You sure? Anybody has any doubts with your numbers? Very good. Okay. So then it's basically okay. So team 1 and team 2 will go to wing B. Just go into that room and we'll join you there. So you go to the left extreme of wing B. Team 2 will also go to wing B, right extreme. Team 3 will be here. And team 4 are that side of this room. Yeah. If the facilitators just take the sheets with you.
3 has to be here. 3. Following the lead.
No, I don't know which number I am.
Oh, you don't?
Facilitator, but which group I am, I need to know. I need to see my mail. I don't know. I didn't see the mail. Which group is it?